Giving one admission. अभी YouTube chat में
अभी सब projects और marks
सर
Good afternoon. It's indeed pleasure to welcome all dignitaries, teaching professors, and my dear student friends to Autumn Fest 2020 in-house student webinar, Symposium on Student Project Report Writing by Dr. Nagalingapatya. In attention, I welcome our beloved principal, Dr. Bibliography. I also welcome our honorable President, Dr. Rubrics. Also welcome Honorable Secretary, Dr. Viva-voce. MITM-MBA, a mark of true education, is now well 12 batch with one certificate. Altogether, different ways when you can master the art of business. Professional MBA with specialized knowledge and unique pedagogy. So for today's event, we have event coordinators, Dr. Rajesh and Dr. Manav Kumar N. So who are going to be the coordinators and the moderators for today's event. Now it's our privilege to welcome and introduce today's speaker. Now I request Dr. Rajesh to introduce the speaker.
Thank you, Dr. Sham. Once again, it's my sincere pleasure to welcome Dr. Nagalingappa for this webinar series. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
So here is a brief profile of Dr. Nagalingappa. Dr. Nagalingappa is a veteran with 3+ decades of rich experience in industry and academia. He has handled numerous consulting assignments at various organizations. Dr. Nagalingappa holds PhD in Management Science, MBA in Marketing, and he's an engineer. He's mechanical engineering engineer basically. And he's a certified strategic management teacher. He's also a certified ISO lead auditor. And Mr. Nagalingappa is a certified ZED consultant under Make in India program. And Dr. Nagalingappa has done postdoc study at Fullerton State University, USA. Sir is also a founder, chairman, and CEO at Dr. NG Academy for competitive exams. And he has served as a chairman of Viva-voce for management studies at VTU. Dr. Nagalingappa has traveled extensively abroad and delivering talks at various national and international platforms. He is a wonderful profile of Dr. Nagalingappa. With this, again, I welcome you, sir. Now I request you to take over the sessions.
Thank you. Good afternoon, one and all. Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Yes, sir. We can
good
hear
afternoon.
you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Please,
Okay.
Please go ahead, sir. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Good afternoon, one and all. And also, most important is those who registered for today's webinar. The topic is Symposium on Insights and Guidelines, Project Report Writing. Next. Yeah, let us look at today's outcome. After having attended this, what is the takeaway? For students, those who are in the 3rd semester, entering to fourth semester a month later, you have to have a clear outcome of the symposium. One is understand project work guidelines. VTU has clearly earmarked or written in its syllabus from page number 173 to 177. So student must clearly understand project guidelines. If you miss out on the guidelines, you may end up in problems at later stage. So therefore, you must understand clearly the project guidelines. Next is follow the schedule. I am using Bloom's taxonomy here. So follow the schedule. A schedule is also drawn. It is available in your syllabus copy. You can make use of that. Next is practice research methodology. Any education has outcome. So basically we talk about there are three types of outcome. One is you'll be emerging out as skilled based. So practice research methodology which are useful to your day-to-day work when you enter to corporate world. Next, analyze data and interpretation. After having used proper research tools and techniques, you have collated data. That data need to be interpreted. Otherwise, that data has no meaning. Next is, if you have identified any problem, or if you are while undergoing project work, if the company has given you some problem, solve that problem, identify the problem and try to solve the problem. I would give you some examples of problems little later. Next is how to score better, because you are in a university system, so you also should know what are the rubrics and evaluation pattern, so that accordingly you will be able to fine tune your report and you will be able to act upon. Last is develop presentation skills. The day when you are undergoing Viva, you need to have a small presentation ready. The external examiner may ask you to present. So entire work you have studied 1 to 3 semesters, roughly about 16 to 18 subjects. Now the time has come to show your skills. It could be written skills, it could be presentation skills, it could be language skills. So therefore, to check all those skills, the project report is one media. So therefore, you should develop presentation skills. Next, please. Yeah. What are the objectives? Why you should do this project work? To expose students to understand the working of organizations, company, and industry. See, I made it very clear. What is organization? What is company? What is industry? I think broadly you understood what is organization by now, what is company. For this, you can also log on to Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, CMIE, where you will be able to know more about types of organizations available, types of companies available, types of industry available. For example, when you talk about tire industry, the company could be MRF or JK Tires, right? So industry is tire industry. So I think you know the difference, how to differentiate between industry and company and organizations. Next, take up the in-depth study issues and problems related to area of specialization. You have undergone some certain specialization. It is advisable for all of you to do your project in your specialization. This will help you to fetch you better job opportunity while you face industry interviews. Next, please. General guidelines. The entire duration of the project is for 6 weeks. When can you take up this one? Immediately after completion of third semester. You don't have to wait for your results, but before the commencement of fourth semester classes. roughly you have about 6 weeks of time between third and fourth semester. So this is the time earmarked for your project work. There are some work which you can start immediately while you are in third semester. I would be mentioning or I would be talking to you on what are those activities which you can start right now, and what are the activities during the course of your project you will be undertaking. It is for whom? It is compulsory for everyone. It is a part of your curriculum. To obtain any master's degree or any MBA degree, you need to complete project work. So therefore, it is compulsory. What is the outcome? Your project report should be submitted to VTU regional office. In turn, regional office will send it to university, 2 copies. When you have to do this, this is before the commencement of fourth semester examination. Why so? You have a lot of time to show draft 1, draft 2. You can consult your internal guide, you can consult your external guide. Therefore, effective project work is undertaken. And the university, your head of the department, has to send it to register evaluation with an intimation to regional office. Now, while choosing your topic, that is at key issues today, you must be very much aware that what are the business trends going on in the market. Always you should try to pick up a problem which is current in nature. You should always take a topic which is burning in nature. So the project should be research problem. It should be from business organization. However, university has allowed you to take up freelance also. My advice for you is take up from the organization so that you can be with the internal guide there in the industry. For us, it is becoming external guide, and you can obtain sufficient guidelines from them. If it is a freelance, you will need to have a lot of resources for you to carry out. One is the entire responsibility lies with you and your guide. Therefore, you need to work very hard if you are doing freelance. However, it is for you to choose either organization based or freelance. Choice is yours. Conditions apply here. There will be department committee. You have to submit about 2 to 3 pages of synopsis. The department committee will approve depending upon the requirement. So therefore, it is subjected to the approval of the department committee. Department committee could be consisting of HOD, senior professor, one from your specialization area. Your major specialization is marketing or HR or finance. One faculty could be from that particular domain. Therefore, they sit and evaluate and they approve your responsibility. Here is if you are taking freelance, internal guide, you need to approve, you need to obtain permission from your internal guide for doing this particular freelance project work. In case the problem is picked up or given by company or selected by sometimes companies give you problems. Suppose example, if JK Tires wish to know if they are coming out with a new product, what is its acceptability, or if there is a trend, if there is a dip in the market or segmentation, they can ask you to go and study and come back and tell them what are the problems with the product or with the market condition. So if the problem is given by company, means they have a perfect type of work or mind in their mind so that you can find a solution to that. However, there is a condition. If your institute, say Maharaja Institute of Technology, MIT, there are 2 students who are pursuing MBA marketing. they cannot take up the same problem in the same organization. I would like to re-emphasize here that no student shall work on the same problem in the same organization. So therefore, you need to be very, very clear. You need to talk to your guide. Guide could be a different person. A guide may be different. But if you pick up the same problem and same company, if they could trace out at the end, then one of you will be in trouble because problem is same, company is same. Be careful. Or you tell your guide well in advance about this particular thing. Don't mix up and don't run around at the end. Next, the student shall seek the guidance of internal guide on continuous basis. See, there is a diary to be maintained, and you need to talk to your guide either through telephone or through email or physically whenever you are free. You can go to college and meet them. Now, due to Corona, the lot of changes have taken place. Therefore, keeping all these COVID-19 rules and regulations, SOPs, Standard Operating Procedures of MHA, Ministry of Health Affairs, Ministry of Home Affairs, all these people who are all, whatever the guidelines, health and home, just follow them and talk to your guide before you get into any mode of communication. If they expect you to come in person, you go there. Otherwise, either over the telephone or email or Zoom meeting or any other means, you can be in touch with your guide. Because your guide has to certify you that the work undertaken by the student is satisfactory. Otherwise, at the end, you'll have to run around if your work is not satisfactory. Be careful about it. Please talk to your guide. Be regularly in touch with your guide. That will make you a sort of confident in completing your project. Next, please. Next. Next. Hello. Sham? Yeah. No, you have gone one step, one ahead. Back, please. Back. General guidelines format you should go. General guidelines format. One more back. Yeah. Format. What format you should use? The project report shall be prepared using, be careful students here, whatever they are told, you must follow this. Last moment, when you come with whatever the fancy thing, if you have done and come, if the guide is not accepting, the whole night prior to submission, you have to run around. It is word processor, MS Word with new Times Roman. The font and font size is clearly mentioned here. Don't tell that, sir, previous year it was like this. Therefore, I also did the same thing. Please go through the guidelines once again. It is available in your syllabus book from page 173 to 177. It clearly mentions New Times Roman, font size is 12. Report should be printed on A4 size. So therefore, all the sides you should have margin of 1 inch, but left side margin is 1.5. And maximum number of pages you should allowed is 100 pages. Don't do that more than 100 pages. It means your report has to be really cohesive, and then it should be nicely made so that you can accommodate all your ideas, research findings, your work in 100 pages. The report shall be hardbound. Hardbound, color is very clear. MBA department in VTU is given with royal blue. You should use that royal blue, and properly you should indicate the, I'll show the sample also, indicating the college and month and year of admission. No spiral binding permitted. Students come out saying that I did not know, so that I come with a spiral binding. Spiral binding copy can be kept with you for your reference. Don't, while submitting this two copies, you need to have hardbound only. Next, please. Next. Hello. A certificate by guide and HOD is required here. A student has taken work and carried out independently, there is another certificate required. If you have done in the industry, the organization also will give you certificate. Okay, let us look at schedule to be followed before commencement of project, which I have talked about to you. Right? So, now with the help of your teachers, identify the organization and the problem. You should be able to identify right now. So, how can you identify this? You can go through the newspapers, you can go and approach various companies wherever you are now. But now, due to COVID, I don't know the condition. Companies may allow you or they may not allow you. However, there are requirements. Certain companies will wait for the students to come for their internship, that is project work. However, you need to talk to the organizations. First is organization, you identify which company you would like to do. If you have something in mind, like my dream company, I need to do project in, let us say, Google, or I need to do company in Amazon, I need to do my project in Infosys, I need to do my project in IBM. That something should be in your mind. It matters a lot at the time of going for job interview. The company where you undertaken project matters a lot. Therefore, right now you are in third semester. Right now you should start identifying the organization. Next, if you are identify organization, your college will start giving you bona fide letter saying that student is bona fide student of our college. He has to undertake 6 weeks of project work. They will give you permission letter. Kindly take as many copies as possible. Either you can send it through your friends, relatives, teachers, or identify your whoever who can help you. Give one copy to them, get confirmation. After getting confirmation, then go and talk to them. And also you hand over one copy of your confirmation to your project coordinator. There will be somebody, project coordinator. Your HOD will nominate somebody in the college. Go and hand over a copy of that letter to your recognized in charge person for project work in charge. And next is, after having I got the letter from the company, you can talk to them. You can also tell them, do you have any problem which you are interested to do? There could be lot many problems in different areas. So identify their problem. Second week, the problem statement and research design. You should be able to, if you are really good with market research that you have studied already in second semester or first semester, whatever it is, if you can identify problem, if you can make the statement, you can also use research design here. Next is prepare synopsis. It requires about 10 to 15 days to do that. In third week, prepare synopsis, formulating objectives. What is that? In consultation with their internal guide and external guide, you can also prepare your synopsis. And you present this one to a committee, usually HOD, your internal guide, and one person from domain. Domain here I mean marketing domain, HR domain, or it is say finance domain. So then they will give you approval. The approval could be approved, your synopsis is approved, or approved with modification. If the synopsis is not up to mark, they can also identify problems and they can tell you to modify or reject for fresh synopsis. You can, if they are rejecting you, then again you have to do the fresh synopsis. Approval status, fifth and sixth week, the approval status submitted to HOD will officially give you concurrence for the execution of the project. The synopsis, it should be in 3-page document, hard copy to be submitted to HOD, along with the signature of the guide and the student. It means it is very clear that the company identified, problem identified. After having identified the problem, what kind of research statement you are going to do, and what kind of research design you are going to take up, everything is properly lined up so that no confusions at the end. So therefore, you need to be constantly in touch with your internal guide. Next, schedule to be followed during the project work. The previous one what I talked about is, it was next please. Yeah. Now the next what previously I spoke was before the commencement of the project work. That almost you are in third semester that time, as of now. Next, once the work starts, project work starts, you need to, in the first week of project work, you need to maintain a diary. In fact, take a separate 100-page notebook or whatever it is. You should clearly mention when did you visit, date, time, what did you do, and outcome of that one. You can make a small note every day. It will help you while you write report. That time you don't have to run around here and there. If your organization is already fixed, you can go through their websites, you can go through their day-to-day functioning, you can also go through the news items. Therefore, while you are in the company people, when you talk about their company, their product, their services, they talk about their turnover, they talk about their best practices, they talk about good about that organization, they feel happy about you. So it means you need to start your work here. This is the one work where in whole of MBA, you will be carrying your degree along with your project report throughout your life. In any job interview you go, they will be asked you to produce your project work. Therefore, you understand the organization. After having organization be finalized, understand the structure, culture, functioning, and also be in touch with the internal guide of the company. Ask or identify any business problems. There could be a lot of problems in industry. They expect you to find out. They expect you to be part of that and give a solution to that. Before, my suggestion to you guys is, before you get onto the company or organization, you must do lot of research, literature work. There are a lot of project reports available in your library done by your seniors. You have a time to go through all of them. Or go take a literature, go through the websites of the particular organization or company wherever you are undertaking particular project work. Have a thorough knowledge about their products, services, and then if there are problems, if there is anything they are facing, all that can be known. For this, you can also, if your finance students are undertaking this, you can also go through their balance sheets. It is all available in the register of company's website also, or even in company. Now it is mandatory. Even in the company website also, sometimes you may get. Or if anyone known to you who is a shareholder of that particular company, they can also give you balance sheet. Next is first week. The very first week after having gone there, you need to do this particular thing. Second week of project, preparation of research design, research instrument for data collection. Here it is real issue here, because how to test that you have lot of knowledge. Now you are going to be a master of business graduate. The key issue here is, are you good at entire MBA? Few things you need to be mastered. One is presentation skills. Second is research instruments and design skills. Third is your language skills. So therefore, it is a time for you to test your knowledge, whatever you have gained through these 3 semesters. Discuss with your guide. Finalize research design, very important. I emphasize here. Research design and instrument. It could be questionnaire, it could be focus group interview, that you decide what type of project you are undertaking. Depending upon that, your instrument decides. Because while you use tools and techniques for solving the problem, the instrument should fit in there. Suppose you collected the data, the data is, if it is not sufficient or if it is not possible for you to pick up that particular data to use SPSS package or any one of the packages, then it is going to be waste. So therefore, please see that you talk to your guide and you finalize on the instrument to be used. If questionnaire, what kind of questionnaire, what kind of questions, who are the target respondents. Here it is data collection side. Next is data collection third week. What you need to do here is you need to know about sampling techniques, and what is big N and what is small n you need to know now. The big N is total sample size. Small n is number of samples you picked up from that. Suppose universe by your own samples you picked up is small n. So you need to know, because time is only 6 weeks. You may be ambitious to do lot of work, but thing is, but time is a constraint. Travel could be constraint. There could be problems with respect to finance and all other things. Therefore, it should be achievable. Suppose if you are taking up a particular problem, you are going for say questionnaire method. You may now things have improved. You can also send it through particular through email or whatever the way, and you can get the data. If sometimes you warrant you to go, then you need to do different methods. So suppose you have decided 100%, 100 or different location. You need to be very careful here. While you do this, you need to collect the data, collect the data, then after that you have to tabulate the data, coding and tabulation of the data, and at all the times please be with your guide, show him, take his guidance. Maybe every guide has his own way of putting up the things. See, when I used to do that, I used to put one day about 3 to 4 hours. That time anybody can come and talk to me. Every Monday could be all my research students should come and talk to me. So it depends on the guide. So they may put up on the notice board or their own personal notice board saying that every student should talk to me, come and speak to me on particular time and like that. So that also works out good. Next is submission of report is in the 6th week. By the time you must fine tune everything. Final reports have to be submitted to the university before 1 week of the commencement of theory examination. But that is that this particular report has to go to university 1 week before commencement. Whereas your guide may fix or your HOD may fix much early. While you are in 4th semester, soon after you are back to business school, you start working on that. You don't keep pending. Every day you keep doing some amount of collection of the data so collected, the segregation of data, collecting data, then proper way you are arranging the data, start writing the chapters. So therefore, what will happen is there will not be much pressure on you at the end. I know that students will be coming to guide only at the end. That put lot of pressure on the guide to clear the project, which in turn you are going to lose on quality. If you want to have a quality report, you may have to approach your guide time and again. So guides keep suggesting some changes without any hesitation. Please do that. Ultimately, it reflects a quality of your project report at the end. Next, please. Yeah. Best is your evaluation pattern. University has fixed up some pattern. So if you know in the well in advance, accordingly you can also take actions. The internal evaluation will be done by the internal guide. So it means you need to talk to your guide, get his suggestions, his opinions, time and again. Talk to them, meet them. By and large, I have seen, I must have evaluated about 2 to 3,000 projects over a period of 20 years. Students, either knowingly, unknowingly, get delayed, and at the end, they keep running from pillar to post. They work overnight, the machines go bad, the papers get stuck, quality will not be there. So, therefore, our guide may not clear, guide may be having certain amount of difficulty in clearing. So, it is all it hassles, it is. If you want hassle-free, be in touch with your guides. I repeat, be in touch with your guides. Maintain a diary. You talk to them. Now it is very easy. You have WhatsApp, you have groups, then you have email. It is not physically, you don't have to move or don't have to find out where is your guide. Okay, talk to them. Next is external evaluation done by the faculty member of the institute drawn from VTU. See that qualification, minimum of 10 years of experience, they talk about it. It means if there are any problems, if there are any issues, external guide also can go suggest you, but the time is already too late for that. So therefore, you must largely depend on your internal guide, and for that you need to be with guide always. Next part of your evaluation mechanism, you have Viva and you have presentation. When you do your presentation, prepare 10 to 15 slides. Don't prepare too many slides because there won't be much time, because there are a large number of students. Suppose 120 students are in our college. So it is fixed for about 3 days or so, usually for 3 days. So 40 students per day, it is very difficult for us to conduct Viva. So therefore, so they may allow you to take up about 10 to 15 slides. It should be prepared well in advance. Again, show to your internal guides, get his approval. Then before the examination hall, wherever they mentioned, you must preload it to system so that you don't waste too much of time in setting up the mission. Otherwise, too much of time you wasted in that. This is done in your institution. So therefore, you know, you are very comfortable or very familiar with your institution place, institution machines, everything. Machine here means computers. A student is expected to give presentation followed by Viva. So for this, if you have done really good job, you don't have to fear at all. So for that, you need to, while you are going for Viva, be careful, carry a copy of yours. Don't ask the guy to give his copy. So carry your copy, mark it wherever it is, wherever statistics is available, keep those statistics. Guide may ask you or examiner may ask you certain things very popularly known as what is the strength of the company, what are the weaknesses of the company, what are the opportunities, what are the threats. So what did you see? What is the best in that company you could observe? What are the best practices you observed? What is the turnover of the company? What is the human resource available in the company? Do they have any certification in the company? These are commonly asked. Then if it is say you are a marketing guy, then do you have the marketing manager there? Then what are the what all the geographical area it is spread across? So therefore, or suppose if it is a product company, they may ask you tell about their products. You should know clearly what are those projects. Then talk about the product for 1 or 2 minutes. You know, if you have done a good job, you don't have to fear at all. So you will be able to do much better than anybody else. Next, please. Next. Yeah. The Viva examination will be conducted by respective HOD, or sometimes HOD is busy, you will senior professor in the department, and there will be an expert from VTU. Okay. So therefore, you need to be very clear, very clear that you will have two persons in the examination hall, the evaluation hall. Okay, they may raise any question. Though your guide will be with you, another person from other college may be available there. And how the marks are allotted? It is for 100 marks. Total, it is a 6 credit course, mind you. I know what do you understood by credit, because you are already gone through a particular course. Already you're almost coming close to finishing MBA. You see, it clearly says 6 credit means 1 credit means 1 contact hour per week. 6 credit means 6 contact hours per week. At least you should be either present in the company if you are taken up a company or a industry, or if you are doing freelance type of project, you should be in touch with your guide at least for 6 hours in a week. I know that students won't come much frequently because there could be a lot of constraints. If you suppose, let us say, those are from Mysore, if you have taken a project work in, say, let us say, Nestle in Nanjangoodu, so it is sometimes sometimes you may be staying near to the company and you are finishing your job and coming back. Or some of your students who may be in Delhi or maybe in Calcutta or maybe other parts of the country. So for them, physical movement may not be possible. But thanks God, with the technology, with the COVID, ongoing COVID pandemic, it could be much easy for you to establish contact with your guide through various other means. Let us look at marks pattern. I'll also give you bifurcation how it is done. 40 marks for internal marks. It means the 40 marks are assessed by your guide itself. Your guide himself will give you 40 marks. Next, by average of 30 marks from both the external and evaluation. So therefore, you need to obtain better marks here. So therefore, it is for 100 marks, 40 marks for internal guide, and 30 is in the hands of the external guide at the day of evaluation. Next, please. Next. Yeah. Minimum passing marks of project work is 50%. The whole of master degree is passing is 50%. Here also it is 50%. In each of the components such as internal marks, report evaluation, and Viva-voce examination. When it is bifurcated like this, you need to score in all the sections of the project work. It means you should develop your competencies in all the walks of life. Next, please. A part of evaluation is on-time submission. Don't come with late and tell to your guide that there are a lot of problems, technology problem, computer crashed, data lost, all this not acceptable. You are going to join any companies, you are supposed to be a very responsible guy. But it is my experience that at the end, students will come rushing saying that this is the problem, that is the problem, technology issue like that. Please don't do that. Whatever it is told, you do this from the beginning, so therefore you have less problems. The student should submit the project or in electronic data. See CD, because of space problem at university level, you are supposed to burn the CD and hand over to your guide to HOD. In fact, HOD will make a consolidated list of all the students, USN number wise, university seat number wise, then title of the project, everything, and send it to university. And see that it is in PDF, and it should not be editable. It is uneditable. Okay. So therefore, you are going to freeze it. Nobody can edit, and you cannot blame for mistakes at your end. Students do mistake and say that, oh, somebody has done something like that, though that is not acceptable. So it is to be done by you. You have to convert that entire word into PDF. That PDF has to be burnt onto the CD, and CD you have to submit. So that therefore your HOD will further forward it to university. Next, please. Before that, you will have a plagiarism check. What is plagiarism? I think by now you guys are aware of it. It is not to copy too many things, but however, there is a limitations for everything. Plagiarism is an academic standard to be maintained. Plagiarism up to 25% is allowed in the project work, and reports should consisting of 75% of the original content or work. Why? Any idea why 25% is allowed? Because sometimes if you have done suppose for finance, marketing, HR students, though you have done in the same company, the information pertaining to company, sales, turnover, organizations, structure remains same. So therefore, some of the things could be copied or could be taken from elsewhere, from the documents or from records. So therefore, university itself is kind enough to allow you to up to 25%, and 75% should be of your own work, original work. With respect to, it could be data collection, data interpretation, usage of tools and techniques. I suggest students, you all must learn now how to use SPSS package, or at least you should be very thorough with Excel sheet work, so that you can rather enter the data, get the desired results by using any one of the statistical tools and techniques. So it means whatever you have studied throughout in your MBA up to third semester will come into helpful. Suppose students of finance may be doing something on ratio analysis. Look at ratio analysis. It is your original work. It cannot be copied from somebody, right? Because you are going to interpret in your own way. Somebody else must have done in own way. Okay. Next is, it is desirable that students at the master's level must present a technical paper or a management where either it could be in management fest or in conferences or in seminars, or your HOD can organize one project work evaluation or evaluation of papers. So that you could get a certificate for that. So that will help you to publish along with your guide. You and your guide can sit together and write a paper, and it can be published in recognized journals. This will also give you lot of confidence for you, so that you can do a sort of third party establishing that work is genuine. And for this, appropriate weightage will be given. If you have done that, I have presented a paper or I have published in particular journal, you will get a better marks for that and better weightage for your that you can talk to the external guide or show him the certificate what you have obtained from wherever you have presented your technical paper. Next, please. Yeah, how to arrange this report? A university is really worked out a lot. When I was chairman of the Board of Studies in 2010 to 2013, 2012, we brought out these particular things that uniform across the university. Otherwise, some people used to do some way, some their way, they wish to do that, but it is now clearly marked in the uh, syllabus copy itself, so that a uniformity established across all the colleges under VTU. Your cover page, I'll show you the cover page, what should you contain on the cover page. Certificate from organization. Suppose if you have done a project work in an organization, then take a letter or ask them to send a scanned copy, or if you get a certificate, scan it and put it. You don't have to put that original into report. Original can be kept separately, so that when you go for interview or somewhere, then you can show this. Suppose you are done in Amazon. Suppose you are done in, let's say, as a Google. You are done in IBM. You can show anybody while you are in interview process. See, I have done my project work in so and so company. So that will give you a lot of weightage over other candidates while you appear for interview. Next is, you should get a certificate from your guide that the entire work is under his supervision and it is qualitative. And HOD also will sign the particular letter on the institutional letterhead, so that you are establishing yourself that you are a bona fide student, carried out work independently. Mind you here, MBA project is to be done by individual. Unlike in graduation, where in engineering graduates they do 4 or 5 fellows together, it is called group project. Here in case of MBA, it is individual has to do. Don't do that, 2, 3 people club together and do it. Individual project it is. Next is, you must declare yourself, saying that entire work is undertaken by me, is my own, and it is the original one. You are not copied from somebody, or you are not taken it as it is from somebody. You have to give a declaration. Then you have to acknowledge, because any research work is done with the a lot of effort and lot of help from various people. It could be company people, it could be your HOD, it could be your faculty members. Suppose you have a doubt in certain things. Suppose you are a finance student, you are not understood about the ratio analysis. You went to a particular faculty, you can put up your name, his name. You can dedicate also here. Or you are a marketing student, suppose if you are doing on G9 cell matrix or any other matrix, but you are not understood, one of the faculty members of the marketing department may have helped you. So therefore, you can always acknowledge. And some good friends who are really helped you, you can also acknowledge them. Usually it is principal, HOD by default we acknowledge. There are standard formats available. You can use any one of them. Next is table of contents, then list of tables and graphs, and the executive summary. About 2 to 3 page executive summary is must. It has to be at the beginning of the project report binding. So therefore, one is if you go through the executive summary, they could be able to find out what is the gist available or how the project has undergone, type of objectives you have set up, type of hypothesis you have proved, type of data collection you have done through using various instruments. So instrument, I think you understood what is meant by instrument here. Basically, it is a questionnaire. Suppose if some of you are doing through, let us say, focus group interview by identifying a control group and non-controlled group. Then you can also present here or tell them or write in a way that I used cameras, video camera like that it is okay. So therefore, you must clearly mention type of instruments you have used. That will give you a lot of weightage. Or sometimes very simple ones like mean, median, mode can also be used. Choice is yours. While data you picked up, questionnaire you have gone. I'll come to that next. Next, please. Yeah. Now, introduction. The chapter 1. What should be containing in each chapters? Industry profile, company profile. What is industry here? When I talked about rubber industry or tire industry. So you talk about tire industry. What is its perspective? How things are going on overall in the field? Suppose now you have taken a company, for example, company you have taken MRF. To talk about MRF, or if it is automobile industry, industry is automobile. So in automobile industry, you have taken, say, let us say Maruti, Maruti Suzuki. You have done a project in one of the companies, or Maruti Suzuki company. So industry profile, you talk about industries, industry strengths, industry weakness, opportunities and threats, what is going on, what is the perspective of industry, how industry is doing. I suggest students, please go through Center for Monitoring Indian Economy. It is also available online. Center for Monitoring Indian Economy will bring out beautiful issues, the industry profile, then a lot of information on industry. I repeat, Center for Monitoring Indian Economy will give you a lot of insights into various industries. Now the particular company which you have chosen, again you talk about the company, talk about their products, talk about their profile, talk about their market strategy, talk about their financial issues, talk about their best practices followed in HR. All those things can be there. At this time, you can also mention about who are the promoters. While you mention promoters, what is their vision and mission and quality policy of the company? Because these are the idea. This is basically an observation method. You don't have to go and ask the internal guide to give you certain type of documents. What you can do, you can, before you're getting into a particular company, chosen company, you can do lot of secondary data or secondary the literature survey through popularly you can get through website of that particular company. They will be put up usually vision, mission, quality policy, their products, their services, and the area of operation, their infrastructure facilities, who are their competitors. Sometimes they may also talk about who are their competitive information also. Then they'll also mention sometimes, or you may have to do this work here. SWOT analysis, I think this is the best portion where you can talk about is strength, weakness, opportunity, threat analysis, and also a small a passing remarks like future growth and prospectus and financial statement. Especially students of finance should be able to read clearly financial statement, analyze financial statements. You suppose some projects like comparative analysis of financial statement for 5 years. So you should be thorough with how to read financial statements. So that will give you edge over the other students of other college or your own college. you are much smarter than anybody else. Suppose if you take up HR issues, there could be their retirement plans, or there could be recruitment plans. There could be, there are numerous issues which you can take up any one of them, and then you can find out the problem. When you go to company, they sometimes they must be keeping ready with them some topics so that you can talk to them, and then they will also help you in finding routes. Next, please. Yeah, conceptual background or literature survey. See, look at literature survey. Literature survey is it will rather perform like a background or a foundation for you to develop your own work. The basically theoretical background of the study. Literature review could be with respect to I have seen sometimes you simply refer book. Instead of that, refer to the books, refer to the problems, refer to the company, refer to the organizations. You'll get lot of things. If you get a chance to go to IIM Bengaluru, it's very close by, please go. Or any higher learning institutes. Even Indian Institute of Science has got MBA department. Please go there, you get lot of research issues, literature available. Plenty of literature available now. You must know how to get it from website. Thank God now internet is doing wonders. Please be in touch with all these guys. Or even you can go through some of the old projects, one of the best projects kept in your own library. What they have done, how they have done before. So that will give you a sort of foundation. Then 20 literature review is must they mention. 2 3 lines or when you do a particular research, keep noting in your diary. Keep mentioning what kind of what kind of views they have followed on that. What was the issue in that? When you do a certain amount of I request all the guides to guide the students on literature survey, so that they when they take up the real problem or issues, they'll able to bring out neatly. Next, please. Yeah. This particular topic is whole of your project is depending on this particular chapter. I may emphasize lot on this particular chapter. Statement of the problem. Very important. You discuss with your guide, internal guide, or take the help of the external guide. Bring out clearly while framing the problems and hypothesis. You need to test these hypotheses. Okay. Then you may also talk about what are the objectives or objectives depending upon the type of problem you are going to take up. What is that what are the objectives of your study? Then why is the need? What is the need for this particular study? So should be able to clearly bring out. Then scope of the study. What is the scope? How much you are going to cover this? I can few examples I can cite here. You may be ambitious to do lot of work, but due to time constraints, money constraints, then there are a lot of sample size I talked about. How to choose samples, sampling techniques, sampling methodology. What is big N? What is small N? Big N is universe. You have studied in statistics all this. Then suppose if the big N is very big, then how much sample to be chosen for your study, so that while you do interpretation or while you do any work further on that, it should not be insufficient. Data should not be insufficient. So you must arrive at a proper sample size. This is a technique. You can go through any one of the research methodology book. You are going to get how to take sample size. So you discuss with your guide again, then arrive at a simple solutions how to find sample size. After having done, start drawing on the question methodology. There's a research instrument. Either you're going to use questionnaire. If how the questionnaire design itself is a big topic. How should be questionnaire? What kind of questions to be asked? Then how they have to be arranged? See, you may be interested to know a lot of things about your the person who is responding, that we call respondents. But thing is, sometimes they may not open up. So it is your ability, your knowledge, or your behavior with them will make them or indulge them or engage them in conversation, and they will be able to give you lot of data. Suppose you are doing particular, say, let us say, a project work on, let us say, Kingfisher beer. You cannot go and just ask them, do you drink? In one go, you will kill you. Says, no, I don't drink. So what will you do with your questionnaire? So how would you rather engage him? It could be like, yeah, how do you spend your time? Well, do you sometimes, occasionally you drink? If so is the case, what are those? What are the brands? Then they may open up. Suddenly, if you ask certain personalized question, do you smoke, like that? If you ask, nobody will agree in initially. So such very, very critical issues are there where researcher, that is you, finding who doing project, must be very, very careful in framing the questions. Your ability to engage dialogue with the respondents and bring out maximum information from the respondent, so that your project report has a lot of weightage. Otherwise, you will run short of filled questionnaires. Most of the questionnaire will become null and void because the insufficient data. It means sampling technique, sample size. Really, really, you need to work very hard here. Afterwards, at all the time while you design your instrument, if you are going for, most of the students use questionnaire is the instrument for collection of data collection. So while designing designing questions, questionnaire, how many questions should be there? You have to always keep in mind that what are the objectives of your study, or what are the problems you need to find solution. Keep all that, and also look at the type of instrument, type of what kind of SPSS package or whatever going to use, and so that your data is fit into that. The fit need to be done here. After having collected data, you found that it is not possible for you to analyze by using techniques, then it is again failure. So it means, what are you, suppose simple techniques like, are you going to use mean, mode, or regression, correlation? What is that you are going to use? You decide in the beginning itself. I suggest to MBA students, you must go for some advanced techniques. Earlier, this used to be simple, mean, median, mode, like that, or some other technique. But now it is by using SPSS package, you can get lot of things. You are decided to use SPSS package or any other package, or even advanced Excel work, you need to know that your questionnaire is fit into that. Otherwise, it is vague. It will not fit into that. Later on, you find, I did a mistake of asking wrong question. So therefore, be careful. Sit with your guide. Go with lot of alternatives available to you. Design research methodology, sample size, data collection by using research instrument, and the tools and techniques you decide in the beginning itself. I'm going to use regression. I'm going to use correlation. I'm going to use certain tools and techniques. So therefore, accordingly, you work backwards. Design in research instrument. Next, please. Analysis and interpretation. Really, really, whatever you learned in your 3 semesters, it is going to be applied here. As far as possible, I request students, do on your own. Do analysis and interpretation of data on your own. Therefore, you master yourself by using all statistics, tools, techniques, all knowledge what you gained over about 10-15 courses what you have studied. So therefore, analyze and interpret. Analysis is one portion, analyzing, and you have to interpret particular data. I can give you example like, suppose you collected the data, example, Mangalore, 25-degree, summer, rained, fisherman, sea. This is some data you collect. What is data? Data is bit of information available to you in a scattered manner. It has no meaning. Therefore, the data, when you make it a, meaningful, Mangalore temperature is 25 degrees and it is going to rain today, and you are advised fisherman not to get into sea. See, that makes that makes sense. Okay, so it means whenever you collected a data, you are interpreting data, then you are analyzing data. The data should give proper meaning, collected with relevant tables and graphs. So therefore, next is, before you analyze or before you interpret, you need to bring them in a proper table and graph manner so that it is easily understood by everyone. And also it is your ability to depict, is ability. Now you learn how to use tables, how to use graphs, and how to interpret graphs. Then lot of formulas to be mastered now here. So therefore you can use graphs are the basically very easy to understand things, but not by you, it is by others, evaluators, or the person who reads the report. Don't think that this report, your report is only read by yourself, your guide, or university. If this report is, can you sell your report in the market? I know that IIM guys, while they do their report, some of the companies buy that. I know that long back, about 15 years back, a project report done by an IIM for thumbs up, they purchased it. So therefore, it is you to put lot of data into this, lot of effort into this. Or suppose if your company has given you particular say problem, they would like to find out. Or sometimes you may be observed later on, say that, sir, I can solve the problem, what is there. Suppose a market share is dipping over a period of time, you can suggest, marketing students, if you can suggest some of the techniques, some of the things available in the market, and you can say that I will increase the market share, then you may be the person chosen for that. So therefore, this also gives you job opportunity. So you need to do honest job here, so that you could be prospective in that company. The result obtained by using statistical source must be included. So therefore, you side by side, you must learn how to use statistical tools and techniques, especially marketing people, or now finance people go without, without any of these tools and techniques, very difficult for them to work nowadays. So therefore, master yourself, still there is time. The pandemic has given you a lot of time to go through a lot of statistical tools, techniques, books, read, and plenty of things available in the net now. After this pandemic, lot many things are available. Only thing is you should have a lot of interest in doing this thing. Next. Next. Yeah. This chapter, sometimes external guide may not be having full time to go through entire project report. You may be just jumping to concluding portion or suggestion. The concluding way, you need to have what are the findings, what did you find out. It could be in section A, section B, section C, section C, like that. Then they expect you to write your conclusion. You have taken the data, collected the data, interpreted the data, you could be able to find out certain things. Then how best you are going to conclude, that is more important. That is your ability, your language skill, your presentation skill. You must conclude. You should conclude in such a manner that suppose if you hand over to the company, they should be able to eagerly look into your suggestions or conclusions. And suggestions and recommendations could be future action. It is, you finish your MBA and go off, but if you submit that report to company may take up few of the things, or few of the suggestions, or few of the recommendations what you have done, so that they can further improve upon the problems what you have found solution elsewhere. So it means you need to have proper summary, findings, conclusions, suggestions, and recommendations. This chapter is again vital chapter, but mind you, all this should not exceed more than 100 pages. It means you should have a lot of language vocabulary, lot of writing ability, because now what are you going to test here? Let us see. Bibliography and annexures. Suppose you collected few of the product items or list that you can put as figures. Sometimes I have seen some of the projects of BHEL who have done in Mysore. They give you product figures like dumpers, then all that whatever earth moving equipment they manufacture and all that they give. So students sometimes they put up in their project work. So bibliography could be you choose the style whichever one you want to do, either APA method or MLA method or any other method which it finds you. APA method is American Psychological Association, or MLA means modern language style, whatever the language style. Bibliography will give you an insight. Suppose I want to study further or I want to look at it actually. So there you are mentioning there is a methodology to, in a simple way, there is a methodology to write bibliography. Either it could be author name followed by the book. Suppose if you have done a particular page, you have taken a formula or a particular figure, please mention PP. PP means particular page. So particular page you have taken from the particular book or particular article, please mention it. Then publication, who has published this? Then year of publication. This is the standard way of writing bibliography. Whoever want to do further study, research, or know more about it, they can go through that. It's not possible for you to write whatever exactly mentioned in that particular book or particular article or a particular website. Website also permitted. Please pick up from website if it is really useful, but it is not possible. Particular page, so that you can use any one of those styles and then write. My suggestion to you is name of the author, book name, publishers, publication, year of publication, and if you are using a particular, I know that you will be definitely writing simply without knowing so many books you refer, like statistics by S.A. Gupta, that there is accountancy by so many like that, or Philip Kotler marketing management. But you should be very clear in writing which page. If you take a particular picture, particular graph, particular theory, or a particular something you used, should be able to write it. So you may not be able to include all in your report because of page consideration. You cannot exceed more than 100 pages. So if you want to give lot of figures, graphs, photographs of the company at the end of the project report. Next, please. Look at the rubrics here. What do you mean by rubrics? I think you all heard about it. You need to know how I am assessed. Why I put up this in the beginning itself is because you know where to get marks, how to get better marks. Ultimately, you need to, it will be, this particular thing is subjected for evaluation. Look at the rubrics for project work, common to core and dual specialization. Someone could choose for core or dual specialization. Internal assessment by the guide based on the 3 presentation by students. It means 40% of the marks in the hands of your internal guide. So what you need to do? You need to maintain proper diary, be in touch with your, I repeat this again and again because last 21 years I am into teaching. I know that students won't go to guide till they call. Because then I know that it is a lot of difficulty for guides to pull all the students together. Students won't come. Last moment they come and then they talk about it. Sir, I have done this. I have this problem, that problem, like that. Please don't do that. Look at the marks in his hands. There are 40 marks. Report evaluation by guide and external examiner is 30 marks. Therefore, 2 of them will sit and decide about for 30 marks, 40 plus 30, 70, and Viva and other examination what is conducted that day, it is for 30 marks. See that when you go for a Viva, you must go with your copy of your project report. Suppose if you have 100 questionnaire or 150 questionnaire, when you talk about questionnaires, please go with those questionnaires in a separate file. then go with lot of pen, pencil, everything. They may tell you to write something, or they may tell you to present yourself in a paper, and about 10 to 15 slides of entire your project report, what you have done. Why I emphasizing on these rubrics? Because it will fetch you better marks and a better grade for your MBA. You can get better grade here. Next, rubrics for project evaluation. We arrived at a point where what all the things to be done in while you do it for 40 marks assessment. Assessment basically it is. The first presentation is for 5 marks. Second presentation 5 marks, because the data in this guide will decide about this presentation, or HOD may decide for entire department. That depends on their availability, convenience and other things. Third presentation 5 marks. It is very easy for you to be present in all the 3 presentations. The more and more presentation you do it in front of your faculty members, that will give you a lot of confidence for the final examination. So therefore, at the final you can be at ease. By then your first, second, third presentation, you will be straightening all your problems. Even your fear is driven out. If you have fear of presentation, that can be driven. So kindly attend all the 3 presentations. Whenever they put up on the notice board, you go and do that. Then you should talk about introduction and methodology. Methodology is very clear. It is like mathematics. If your methodology is very correct, very clear, the research instrument, sample size, all that is very clear, I suggest here you use SPSS package or advanced Excel sheets. Tell them clearly in Viva saying that I used such and such method. Then they will be more happy. They can 5 out of 5 you can get here. Industry and company profile 5 marks, but don't write too much here. Don't too much of the writing should not be here, because space constraints are there. So 5 marks here. So bring neat pictures, figures, all that. Next, theoretical background of the study. That is what literature survey. You need to do literature survey. And how did you collect the data? Collect the data. How did you interpret this? Suppose data analysis and interpretation really requires a lot of skill here. These skills are you acquired when you study your research methodology topic. Suppose if there is a open-ended question, how did you interpret that particular question? What was that interpretation you derived out of that? There is a method, particular method to do that. Ask your guides, they will tell you, they will guide you how to interpret answers got from open-ended question. There is a methodology. Anyway, data analysis and interpretation is 5 marks. Summary of findings and suggestion and conclusions 40 marks. Very neat and clear. You can get better marks here because he is your internal guide and he is with you always. You must be with him and you must be talking to him on regular basis. So therefore, no, you get better marks here. Next, please. Yeah. D. Report evaluation by the guide and external examiner. Here they may do separately, though they sit together and do it, but 30 marks it is done here. Introduction and relevance of the project, conceptual background of the literature review, then research design, analysis and interpretation, summary of findings and suggestions. They may allot average of marks awarded by 2 examiners shall be the final evaluation marks for the dissertation. See, that is important. Average they may do separately and then they take average and then the marks is awarded here. Next, during that Viva day, what all they going to check? What are the rubrics for your Viva in front of external examiner? Presentation skills. It could be you must be yourself presentable first. Proper college uniform with presentable format. Then your own presentation skills. It could be language skills. It could be writing skills. They may ask you to use board. They may ask you to use paper. They may ask you to write formula. They may ask you to write chart. Anything they can do. Suppose if the students of HR may ask you to write Malthus theory of hierarchy, or sometimes they may ask you, suppose if you are referred a thing like internal and external issues for industry, then they may ask you to write on that. Next, communication skills. You must be very, very careful while listening to question. Don't simply shoot out. Don't simply talk about whatever you wish to talk. Listen carefully here. Okay, then only you speak. Don't unnecessarily speak there. You may communicate very little, but you must communicate it in a proper understandable manner. Be very clear. Communication skills, subject knowledge. While in the process of doing viva, they may also ask you from other course, other subjects, not necessarily only from project. They may ask you from statistics, they may ask you from any other portion. They may, if you are a marketing student, they may ask you from Philip Kotler marketing book. So therefore, you must have studied all the subjects well. So therefore, you must be able to answer them. The best way, if you don't need the answer, say, sorry sir, I don't know. That's always best. Don't simply shoot and then get caught. Then objectives of the study and methodology, you must be clearly able to tell them what were the objectives you set in and what is the methodology you used for in the entire project work time. Analysis using statistical tools and statistical package. There is no restriction or there is no one particular statistical tools and techniques you must use. It is up to you. But I strongly advise you must use some statistical tools and techniques at this stage, or learn now. There is a lot of time for learning. Learn. This is the time where you can learn. So therefore, it will give a lot of confidence for you when you enter to the real corporate world. That time we can talk about, I use such and such tools and package, you are thorough with that. That will give you edge over other students. Next is findings and appropriate suggestions, 5 marks. This is how your marks have been divided over a period of three phases, A, B, C phases. I have shown all the C phases. Next, please. Formats for project report, cover page, certificate, declaration, content place, list of tables and charts, then bibliography, format for internal evaluation, external evaluation, and Viva. These are all available with your guide. You can ask them, they will tell you. Okay, this is how it is. The format is framed so that you can get uniformity across the university. Next, please. Look at the cover page, how it looks like. University logo. Sometimes you can put up your college logo also. Then comes internal guide, external guide, their name and designation. Dear students, always noun name side, don't do spelling mistake and don't pronounce it wrongly. Sometimes some of the examiners may get offended. So be careful while you write the spellings. In particular, name of the guides, name of the external guide, and people involved, university name, all that is proper. It has to be done, and put up your. Don't forget. You may be telling that, sir, I have copied this. We are all doing together and all that. Put up your name properly there. Name, your USN number. I know the students sometimes in hurry, they may not get sufficient time to do lot of corrections at the end. They come with somebody's name and somebody's USN number. For us, it will be very difficult for you to trace because you already submitted and you have gone. So don't do that. Please see that you check time and again while you are giving it to us. Student name and USN, all that should be proper because most of the students do copy and paste work. While copying from others or other system, they usually they forget to change their name and USN. They end up in problem later stage. Why so important? Why all? Next, please. Next. Yeah. why so important? To attain the overall objectives. I mentioned you overall objective. This is the type of examination where we're trying to find out how much you have learned over a period of time. In outcome based education, OBE, skill is one. Here you are going to test your skills. There are three ways. One is how the objectives are achieved. One is knowledge. That knowledge you have gained over a period of 2 years by studying, writing assignment, all that about 22 subjects. Therefore, you are achieved knowledge. Then comes skills. How do you get the skills? Project report writing or project work undertaking itself is a skill. What kind of skills we test here? Your writing skills, your ability to move around in the market, your ability to collect the data, interpret the data, use of statistical tools and techniques. See, these are the things we want you to gain mastery before you get a degree awarded as MBA. The overall objectives of MBA is that you are excellent in communication skills, excellent in knowledge, and there are some soft skills like that. That is called outcome based education. We talk about knowledge, skill, and attitude. At the end of the day, you need to have right attitude for your job. So therefore, in outcome based, there are three objectives which you are able to get it. Next is, it is an exam point of view. No doubt you have worked so hard, you need to qualify in this examination point. Then it is internal guide and external guide. Those two also will assess you. It is though a sort of subjective mechanism of evaluation, but still you need to undergo this, and they will evaluate you. Next, please. Some do's and don'ts. I usually seen about 2,000 projects so far in 20 years, even 100 per year, it is about 20 years, 2,000 projects. Do's and don'ts for report writing. What is that do's? Read the requirements carefully. If you are not sure, ask. The best way is don't simply assume things. Ask always. Ask your guide. If you don't know, let him go and ask somebody. Check books everywhere. Use spell checker. Use. Use your grammar. Check your grammar. Get other people to read work. You read your work. The always best is it will bring monotony. Keep on doing the same work. We know in PhD even I myself undergone. Keep on doing same work every day. Sometimes we overlook. So therefore, it's better that having your work, you give your work for somebody to go and check. Let them read carefully, loudly, so that corrections can be made at the later stage. Next, please. Yeah. Label all your figures, tables, graphs, code, etc. So that suppose there is a different methods. If there are some figures in that particular chapter, 1.1 like that you can show. For figure FYZ we tell, table T we use. Your guide will guide you on that. I don't want to get into that too much. If it does not have a label, it cannot be referred into your text. If it is referred in, it shouldn't be in your report. See, sometimes what will happen is, if you don't take these small things into account, it is simply bringing, and sometimes if you have done collected data, you have interpreted data, you write it as field work, because it is your own data. Nowhere else is available this work. It is your own, you have collected data, that's called collection from field, the data from field. Define all relevant terms, especially any jargons you wish to use. Suppose while you write the report, you may be referring to some special terms or special words or special key headings that all to be properly defined. What you understood may not be understood by others in the same way. So therefore, what do you exactly mean? So you must clearly mention, and then you must use it. Next, please. Be concise and keep your content relevant. Be always in report writing. It is an ability of an individual to be concise. It's not easy. Big report you may write 1000 pages, but university has told you to do only 100 pages. Then keep the relevance in contact. Don't write unwanted things. Reference should be numbered serially in order of their occurrence in the text. Okay, so I told you how to write that bibliography. Next, please. There are some don'ts. Generalize or be vague. Overcomplicate. Don't overcomplicate and don't oversimplify. Remember, because you must know who is your reader. Don't confuse people. You must be very clear. Make it very simple. Making it over simple is bad, or over complication is also bad. While using jargon, be careful with the technical. Example, dead end, or colloquials like example, mates, all this you have to be very, very clearly note. Don't avoid using jargons. Next, please. Report is by third party, third person it is basically. Use of I and we should be avoided as far as possible, because once you submit, it is becoming a third party. Introduce defined terms that are not used later. Don't do that. If at all you are going to do, be very, very concise and very relevant. Change tense, past tense, present tense, future tense, while your report writing is a document or report is submitted already. So be careful. Change tense, pick past or present tense, and maintain same thing throughout the report. Somewhere past tense, somewhere present tense, somewhere future tense. Don't do that. It should be consistent, so that the reader is glued to your report and then he can go in one go. Sometimes you use past tense, sometimes you use present tense. It won't make any sense. Then a future tense is wrong if you have already performed the work. Sometimes you do only in suggestions. There you can use future tense, otherwise don't use future tense. Next, please. Use emotive language. It does not belong to a technical report. Write a diary. Always best is every day whenever you are going to company or field, you must carry a book that's called diary, and you must mention everything in that, so that while writing report, it is handy, it is available to you. You don't have to scratch how to do, where to do, and all that. History of what you did. It is a record. Put up the date, the day, where did you go, whom did you meet. Suppose you met a general manager finance, you write that, what all the discussion you had. You met a general manager marketing, mention what all you did it. Or you met a general manager HR, talk to him. Or if you're a freelancer, what did you do, where did you go. So that while you're writing report, it makes you handy, it makes you complete picture is given to you, present or statistics. Okay, then look at the things like plagiarism. Okay, keep minimum. If you want to keep minimum plagiarism, means you must do your own work. So I wish all of you all the best for your future work. So let me, my time is up. In fact, they given me about 1 hour 30 minutes. I am exceeded by about 3 minutes. Thank you very much. I am open for any question and answers. Thank you, Sham and team. Next. Next, please. Yeah.
Hello, sir. I'm Dr. Manoj
I
Kumar
can let
NV.
Sham.
So one of the student, sir, one of the student named Kaveri Devaraja have one question. If two students want to take a project from same company with same problem but different methodology, is it permissible?
Professor. Not audible.
Sir, once again I will repeat. If two students want to take up a project,
Manoj Kumar.
yes.
Dr. Manoj Kumar, not audible. Yes. Sorry.
If two students want to take up a project from same company with same problem but different methodology, is it permissible?
Two students can do the methodology. Sorry, what is your question?
Same, two.
Professor.
If if
Manoj
two
Kumar.
students want to take a project from same company with same
Yeah.
problem but different methodology, is it permissible?
As far as possible, if you can avoid it, is better. I understand this. Suppose if there is a problem, same problem, if you given it to, let us say, Infosys, and if it is given it for Wipro, they may take up a different methodology and arrive at a solution. But students, what they tend to do is they'll easily copy it. So if we can possibly, if we can avoid two students taking the same problem in the same company, kindly discourage. Am I clear, Manoj Kumar? Manoj Kumar,
Uh,
am I clear?
Priya,
Sham.
to give a vote of thanks, I want to mention a quote. Criticism like a rain shall be gentle enough to nourish a man's growth with destroying his.
Nothing is heard, Professor. Sham. Hello. Something gone wrong with audio, Professor Sham. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. So, prior to give a feedback, I want to mention a quote. Criticism like rain shall be gentle enough to nourish a man without destroying his roots. The candle of knowledge kindles fresh minds. I, Dr. Manoj Kumar NV, Associate Professor, Department of
Keep
MBA,
your
Maharaj Institute of
microphone
Technology,
little away.
Mysore, would like to.
Keep your microphone little away. That may be better. Keep little away. Manoj Kumar. Yeah, Manoj. Now you speak now, no, Manoj. That may be better.
The candle of knowledge kindles fresh minds. I, Dr. Manoj Kumar NV, Associate Professor, Department of Management Sciences, Maharaj Institute of Technology, Mysore, would like to propose a vote of thanks for today's session. We, the MIT-MBA Parivar, would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to Dr. G. Nagalingappa, Distinguished Professor and Chief Mentor, Silver Lining Education, Davangere, for sharing his insight on student project report writing. We thank you, sir. This event would not be possible without the support of Dr. Murli as President of MIT, Secretary Dr. Vasudev T, and other trustees, and our beloved principal, Dr. B.G. Naresh Kumar, and our department mentor, Dr. Y.T. Krishna Gowda. They say together everyone achieve more than stands true to the fullest. When I thank our team leader, head of the department, Dr. Sham, and my vulnerable teammates and dynamic student coordinators, we stones of to assistant professor of Department of Professor Shivkumar for his technical support. And finally, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to one and all who are supported directly and indirectly to the success of this event. Thank you, sir. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. We all know that you are a very good distinguished professor as well as a good speaker too. Today you have enlightened us a lot on student project report writing, a detailed history, what you have given to us, and it's more sparking. The session was more interesting and a very interesting session by you, sir. Once again, our sincere thanks from MIT MBA Parivar. So once again, I say it's our sincere thanks from MIT MBA Parivar for making today's webinar very more meaningful stuff. So thanks so much. Um,
Thank you.
because whenever we, yes, sir. Because when I just requested for you without saying no, you said yes, of course, and you gave us the date and everything, sir. And that also boosted us to come with today's preparation. So thanks so much, and hoping so we have the same continuation in the coming days also, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.